Welcome to TubeAmpRepairShop.com, the place to bring your tube amplifier to get serviced. We offer a free inspection of your amplifier to determine if it will need tubes or other service. You can find us on the web at TubeAmpRepairShop.com. You can call or text us at area code 818-645-1075.
Today we have an exciting project. This is a 2-rock speaker cabinet, and the client complained that their amplifier was dead. Of course, it's a separate head and speaker cabinet. Well, it's not a combo, they're two separate pieces, but no sound was coming out. Upon inspection of the head, we plugged into another cabinet and it was working perfectly. Turns out that the speaker in this 2-rocks doesn't work. But just to make absolutely sure before we change it, we're going to go through and do all the measurements. We have purchased a really nice $300 plus Celestion speaker to replace it with. So I'm pretty excited to hear what I already know is a great sounding head. 2-rocks makes fabulous amps. They're a cut above, definitely the A-list, and anybody who tries one will enjoy it. So let's get the speaker cabinet and speaker working. We can enjoy the whole thing all together. I'm going to flip this cabinet around and we'll get to measuring. Alright, so the speaker that's in here right now, the one that appears not to be working, and we're going to go ahead and confirm that, is a Celestion G12-65, meaning 65 watts. Got an impedance of 8 ohms, and it's made by Rolla Celestion Ltd. Didn't work, Fox Hill Road, IP switch, Suffolk, England. So there we go. Probably the quickest way to make the test is to actually measure the impedance of the speaker, and I'm checking to make sure that the wires are connected or not connected. I believe I removed this one previously, which is good. So in the jack you have a ring, the ground, and then the tip going out to this internal wire, which is a speaker wire, not to be confused with a guitar cable. Guitar cables usually have one lead on the inside, a thick wire, and then wrapped around it is a shield, be it copper foil or copper wires or some kind of thing. Now you don't use those for speakers. Speakers, you want to use the same kind of wire for both the ground and the lead. It's an AC signal, and so it's going to alternate between the two wires. It's best if they both are exactly the same diameter or thickness or size, so it will carry the current as it changes going forward, going backward, from the AC signal, electrical energy, into the mechanical energy. And we'll talk about how the speaker works in just a moment. In the meantime, I guess I'll use the portable meter, a little easier to get on camera since this is blocking my bench meter. Let's see if it'll show up for you on camera. That seems pretty good. Setting it to ohms, and as you know, when you measure a speaker, it's measuring for AC impedance, not DC. If we had a resistor and we measure across, it's going to give us a DC reading for the amount of ohms. But the speaker is not meant to have DC, it has AC, an alternating current from a sine wave. So as the sine wave rises up, the speaker will go forward. As the sine wave goes down, the speaker will come back in. And it's that motion of going in and out that causes condensations and rarefactions in the atmosphere to transfer the sound in the room, eventually enter our ear, become part of the psychoacoustic phenomenon known as music. Alright, so there's a plus terminal, which is on the left, and a negative terminal, which is on the right, touching the two probes. And it shows about 1,000,000 ohms, totally open. Touch the two leads together to make sure it's working. Yep, 0. So this speaker with the wires disconnected has an infinite amount of resistance, meaning that the coil is open. It's just as if you were to take two wires, we'll put it on the beep test. If they were touching, we would hear it beep, and if you take them apart, no beep happens because it's just an open space in between them. That's what's going on in our speaker here. And see if we can see that clearly on the camera. I don't know, my lights are pretty bright. Turn one down. Hopefully that's showing up. Oh, I think it's showing up okay. So anyways, when we're doing the measurement, it's still showing this overload. And I'll get another picture when we put the other speaker in of the actual number, so we can see the measurement of impedance, even though it's on a DC meter. Won't give us the exact amount of impedance. Impedance is for AC signals, the sine wave going up and down, and DC is for exact resistance. So since it's a speaker, we're looking for impedance, and if we have an 8 ohm speaker, it'll show up on the DC meter as about 6.5. It always shows a little bit less, but you can get a feel of if the speaker has an open coil or whether it's still conducting. So need a light again. There we go, and I'm gonna have to go in and unsolder the other wire that's attached to the speaker, and then we're going to physically unmount it, taking out the screws. While my soldering iron is heating up, I'm going to start removing the screws that hold the speaker in. And I don't like to use the screw gun to tighten the screws on speakers. If you tighten them down too much, more than finger tight or screwdriver tight, gentle but firm, it can damage the frame and bend or warp it slightly, and the speaker won't work properly and won't last for a long time. So when we put the speakers in, it's best to use a hand screwdriver. Make sure not to over tighten them. It's a fairly easy cabinet to work on. A lot of times you have to take cabinets all apart and remove the back completely, but this one has such a large opening, it's no problem. Okay, the soldering iron is hot. We can get in there, heat up the so we want a little more light. See what I'm doing, and hopefully it'll show up well on camera. There we go. The portable light is important. There's a rechargeable bi-site LED rechargeable searchlight, model 953 that I bought, and it's great. It's extremely bright, and it's nice because portable. I can get it in and around projects that I'm working on. In fact, if you go into a dark room and point it up at the ceiling, it's so bright it'll light up the entire room. Okay, so here, hopefully we can see the wires. There's two equally sized wires inside, a white one and a black one, and that's pretty typical. This is a 1/4 inch speaker connector, albeit a large one, and the plastic sleeve that goes inside as well. Now, if we plug this into the jack, this we can measure for continuity. So we're going to go ahead and put the meter in continuity mode. A little speaker icon or sound wave is usually what shows up. See if I can situate it so the camera can see it. That seems pretty clear on my monitor. And if the wire is working properly, we should be able to get this beeping sound. First, I'm going to beep from the tip. Do the jack first. The inside or centerpiece beeps to the tip and not to the shield. And then the outer part beeps to the shield. So we put it inside the jack. Now we can make sure the jack is working properly. We're going to go to the white wire and touch the other probe to the center pin, which is the tip, and you can see we have continuity. And the black one, if we touch the tip to the shield, we can see it's not shorted. Now if we move the probe to the shield, we can see the shield has continuity to the black wire. So the shield to the black wire, tip to the white wire, and if we check the two wires, they're not shorted together because There's no beep, no continuity. So this jack is working properly. The physical jack is working properly, the wire is working properly, and when we hook it up to the new speaker, it should work properly. Put our test jack away. It's useful to have a jack out for just doing this very process here. All right, I'm going to finish unscrewing the speaker so we can take it out. Usually do the screw on top last, because once you do that, it's gonna come all the way out. There's 4 screws in this particular speaker and cabinet assembly. I got 2.5 out. Here comes the 3rd one. Now I got to hang on to the speaker when I release this screw, because it's going to fall down. But since I'm holding it up, it's not going to go too far. Okay, so probably easier than a lot of cabinets to change speakers in. We get the last screw out here. It is released, and this Celestion G12 -65 water that's dead is successfully removed. So we'll be installing this Celestion Gold 50-watt Alnico guitar loudspeaker, and it's pretty exciting. This was an expensive one, so I expect it to sound fabulous. Okay, I'm going to get it out of the box. So we take a look at a couple of different things. Looks like a speaker to me. It says 17FFT5471B. I guess that's number to help identify it, etc. Looks to me like it has a cloth dust cover. It does appear that air can pass through it. It's not like a paper one that's all the way sealed up. At least I'm pretty sure. I'm going to try to shine a light on it, see if I can see through it. Well, I can't really see through it. It might be solid, but it might be cloth. Anyways, it's brand new and it looks beautiful. Let's take a look at the back of the speaker. There's our leads for the plus and minus. Plus on the left, and it's 8 ohms. And it says Celestion loudspeaker G12 Alnico Gold, Celestion International Ltd, IP Switch England. Looks like some kind of marking or date. I don't know if it's a date, but it says 5/32/194. Somebody who knows more than me would be able to tell what that means. Well, I'm going to go ahead and put it in. Got to do the repair anyways. Complete the process of changing out the speaker. And I'm curious to see what it sounds like. Well, got to get the first screw in place. I got to get the speaker. Let's see. Sometimes the speakers, there's paper that's in the hole, and the screw won't go through until you open the holes up a little bit. So I am opening up the holes a little bit. I'm not trying to fight to get the screw through when I'm holding the speaker up inside the cabinet. Okay. All I've done is clear the hole so the screw will pass through it. Let's try to get this first one started. I'm going to put the screw through, line it up inside here with the hole itself. So the Two-Rocks, I'm sure it's a fabulous amp, and like most fabulous amps, boy, there's a lot of switches. We got EQ switch, a bright switch, a mid switch, a deep switch. Usually I like deep. We'll find out. There's a lead master, and it says bypass. Well, I guess that must be bypassed. Then there's a lead switch over the reverb. So it's going to sound different depending on where we set all these. Try to get a clean sound first. This is the neck pickup. I'm going to switch to a different type of guitar. I'm going to get an Ibanez. I'll be right back. So this is an Ibanez guitar. It's got a 5-way switch, 2 humbuckings with a single coil in the middle. Pretty great, more rock or metal style guitar. Hotter pickups than the Telly. Better to test the grid on an amp like this. This is a pretty great guitar. It's an Ibanez. I believe it's the RG model, RG series, and it's got the 2 humbuckers and the single coil in the middle, the 2 volume knobs, and a 5-way pickup switch. Actually, it's a great guitar. It's for the style of music it was developed for, which is pretty much all styles of music. It's as a rocker. So there we have it, folks, the successful repair of the speaker inside the Two Rocks speaker cabinet. I think the Celestion speaker sounds pretty fabulous. It's 8 ohms, and with the Two Rocks head, I'm glad we got a chance to play through and try a lot of different settings and tone. I want to thank you for visiting us here at TubeAmpRepairShop.com, the place to bring your tube amplifier to get serviced. We offer a free inspection of your amplifier to determine if it will need tubes or other service. You can find us on the web at tubeamprepairshop.com, and you can call or text us at area code 818-645-1075. You can email me at tubeamprepairshop@gmail.com. If you enjoyed the content, please feel free to like us, and subscription is also available if you like to see new videos as they come online. I'm trying to create a number of them, and hopefully I'll be successful producing an entire series of what goes on here in our shop at Tube Amp Repair. Okay, thank you, and we'll see you soon.